This is going to be my part 2 of the video. I want to keep it short because it was going over 30 minutes. So part 2 is, imagine you're a kid, okay? And you have a disability. And you have anxiety problems, serious anxiety problems. Or you don't, doesn't matter. So you're going out with your friend's smoking weed, but he has a good amount of weed. You don't know your friend's a drug dealer. And you're going with a friend in your ride, with a ride. You smell some marijuana in the car. You know that your friend smokes marijuana, so you think, oh, he just smokes some marijuana. And you're in, say, some conservative red state. And you're driving, get pulled over by the police. The cops find a lot of marijuana in the trunk. They arrest both of you. And you tell the cop, that's not mine, it's my friend's. Your friend, he's an asshole, so he says it's yours, so you both get arrested. You both get charged, you both get convicted. So now that's strike 1. Though you never did anything wrong in your life. Strike 2 happens. You're driving again with another friend of yours. And guess what? Get pulled over, there's a little marijuana in the car. Again, busted. So 2 times in a row you get charged on drug trafficking charges. And yet you were never trafficking any drugs, and neither was he. Or maybe he was. Now it's your father. Now you're with your father. And your father has marijuana in his car, about an ounce. That's a pretty big amount, actually. And you're like terrified of going to your dad. And all these 2 incidents happened in the last 2 years. And you're begging Dad, I don't want to go. If I get pulled over, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life. And you're super paranoid. You're very negative. Your entire life you've basically been a negative person. Like me, I'm a little pessimistic. You have a disability. You've been diagnosed with ADHD, OCD, generalizing. No, not OCD. You don't have OCD yet. See, he doesn't have OCD. ADHD, generalized anxiety disorder, Asperger's, and briefly misdiagnosed as depression. With depression, given some medication, but then you taken off of it when it made you too manic, and then he actually got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. So it turns out your depression was just anxiety, but this happened before the arrest. Oh, it happened after the first incident. And then you get arrested 3rd time, you're about 13 and a half years old. I mean, now with your dad, you're paranoid, you're saying, I swear to God, because I'm so unlucky, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life. Like, some people actually could predict their futures. Like, I actually have I often get precognitive dreams. And say that's another one of those kids who have precognitive dreams. You see in your dream, you get arrested, and then you're charged with life without parole. And since you have a OCD, you watch videos with that. And you watch videos of kids who go to jail for the rest of their lives for drugs. And you see that video and you're paranoid, like you're really scared. And your dad wants to go, and you're arguing with your dad. You're actually throwing up outside of his car because you don't want to go in. And you're really paranoid, and you're obsessively watching your dad speed. The speed limit is 35. He's going 45. You yell at him, lower the speed, I don't want to go to jail. And to make you more anxious, because the dad is an asshole, he increases his speed to 50. And just then the cops happen. Went past the cops at 50. And now the cops, pulling him over. Now you're having a meltdown. You're banging your head on the seat. Now your nose is bleeding. You're biting yourself, because you have Asperger's. I've done that before. I had meltdowns like that when I was younger. When I was about that age, 12, 13. And you're hyperventilating. You get a scissor. You try to cut yourself because, you wanted to not kill yourself, but you wanted to, show the cops that you're mentally, incompetent. You're kind of planning it, maybe half warrant. The cops pull you both over. And, they arrest your dad. Your dad, and they find drugs in your dad's car. And you say, I'm going to jail because and you're screaming at your dad, oh, I'm going to go to jail because of the rest of my life because of what you did. And the dad's telling you, don't worry, I'm gonna tell them the truth. It's me. But the dad's an asshole, and guess what? He blames his son because he hates his son for being so negative. I mean, it's like in a 1 trillion chance, but when I'm discussing. And so guess what? But, again, you both getting convicted. But guess what? It's your 2 friends. Both of them, it's their first offense. It's your dad's first offense. But it's your 3rd. So you get charged as an adult. You're getting charged as an adult. And the mandatory minimum is life in prison. And the jury convicts you. and now you're going to jail for the rest of your life. Part of that was their fault because of how they were being overreacting, causing the dad to increase his forward speed, to be an ass to his son, causing the son to go to jail. They look at all the son's history of mental illness, blah 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 blah. So they rule the son mentally incompetent to stand trial. So instead of life without parole, they don't want to put him in a prison since he's severely mentally challenged, emotionally too. I mean, mostly emotionally. So they put him in a mental institution, which is better, of course, but still. But imagine the kid was not so mentally challenged and was not panicking. He would still go to jail for the rest of his life, and he didn't do anything wrong. That's a problem with today's laws. Problem with today's laws is the United States is the only country that jails kids without life, life without parole. The only country, and mostly and a lot for non-violent offenses like drugs and theft, or the adult committing the crime, the kid being there witnessing. There's actually an example of a girl who committed a murder, a 24-year-old girl committed a murder, and the 16-year-old was just with her. They both got life. The 16-year-old and she actually called the police and reported it and everything. Yet she still got, and she actually was diagnosed with mental depression, mental problems because of the whole incident, severe remorse, and still got life without parole. Stupid. And a lot of these judges are, I'm going to say, that are retarded because they're putting innocent kids in jail. And I was watching this video of this black kid who was getting life for a robbery in which no one was even killed. It was the older perpetrator who actually committed the crime. It was a robbery. No weapon was fired. No one got hurt, seriously. And the thing is, the kid was a juvenile when he committed the crime, 16 years old. And the kid was in 11 years in prison, had only one write-up for not making his bed, for Pete's sake. You know what the judge did? The judge was like, you should still be punished. You don't know better, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm not going to give you life, but I'm going to give you another 40 years. You'll be released. You'll be eligible for release in 2030. Like, that judge, I just want to punch him in the face. You know what I mean? No, behaved perfectly, but the kid, while he was in prison, he had a very, nasty, hopeless face, like that. Because, I'll be honest with you, spending 11 years in prison, he's probably what was going through his mind was, the judge is white, probably he's a white trash guy, he's probably not going to go easy on me. And unfortunately, the kid's right. The judge was a fucking white trash. I'm not going to name any names, but yeah, the judge was white trash because he probably was racially biased against the kid. If the kid was white, probably he would have let him go. There's still a lot of fucking racism going on in this country. Most of the kids who are in jail are minority. There's too much fucking racism in this country, and it's got to end. Going back to the beginning, Barack Obama is trying to change it. Oh, Bernie is trying to change it. Hillary Clinton is changing, but she's a flip-flopper. I don't trust her. Even a lot of these Republicans are trying to change it. I hope when I'm going to be 40 years old, this country is going to eliminate the death penalty, eliminate life without parole for children, and eliminate life without parole completely. I want the United States of America to be more like Norway, where rehabilitation is the true method of punishment, or not punishment. See, I'm too Americanized. I'm saying punishment, say rehab. Like, really? The true method of reintroducing people into society. You commit a crime one time doesn't make... You could be a habitual murderer or a criminal, but guess what? A little mental treatment could fix all of that. I believe in true justice, not the justice of, I don't want to see that guy in the street because he killed my grandson. No, I don't want that kind of guy. I want to see a guy like, look, I know that guy is a bad guy. I know he killed my son. But look, I'm a good, forgiving person. I forgive the murderer, but what he needs is a rehabilitation. Look at what he went through his life. His entire life he was beaten up. My son was drunk. My son was, beating the guy up. And he defended himself and killed my son. What he needs is maybe a little bit of rehabilitation and anger management. Really, my heart goes out to all those kids who are in jail. Like, truly. if you're watching this video, please, if you're watching the part 1 and part 2, please help this video get out and expose the truth of what's going on in this country. And we need to end this prison industrial complex right now. We need to end it now. We need to take back our prison system. We need to rehaul it immediately. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.